The escape pod's distress beacon had been transmitting for 3 cycles when the Velthari Mercy finally detected it, drifting in the debris field of what had once been a human transport vessel. Captain Zixathara's 4 eyes studied the readings. With typical Velthari compassion, her species had built their entire civilization around the rescue and rehabilitation of lesser beings. "Life signs confirmed," chirped Navigation Officer Kielna, her translucent wings fluttering with excitement. "1 human survivor badly injured, initiating rescue protocols." The human they extracted was barely conscious, wrapped in a thermal blanket that couldn't hide the lean muscle beneath torn fabric. Dark hair matted with dried blood, skin pale from exposure. But those strange binocular eyes held an alertness that made Zixthara's gill slits flutter nervously. "Fascinating," murmured their ship's xenobiologist, Dr. Morden, as they carried the human to the medical bay. "Such a primitive species, yet they've somehow achieved interstellar travel. Look, at this bone density, and these scars suggest extensive combat experience." The human, who weakly introduced himself as Marcus Chen, Lieutenant Terran Defense Corps, spent the first week in recovery. The Velthari crew fussed over him like he was an injured fledgling, bringing him soft foods and entertainment tablets, loaded with what they considered appropriate content for a developing mind. Marcus accepted their ministrations with bemused patience, though Zixthara noticed he asked surprisingly technical questions about their ship's systems during the medical examinations. "Poor creature doesn't understand our technology," Dr. Mordun explained when Marcus inquired about their quantum navigation array. "He's probably trying to relate it to whatever crude propulsion his people use." But Marcus understood more than they realized. During his second week aboard, Chief Engineer Holvax was struggling with a cascade failure in their main power distribution network. The Velthari had been working in panicked shifts for 2 days when Marcus quietly approached the engineering bay. "Mind if I take a look?" he asked, those unsettling human eyes scanning the holographic displays with disturbing comprehension. Holvax's mandibles clicked in amusement. "Oh, little human, this is far beyond your understanding. But if it helps you feel useful..." He gestured indulgently at the chaos of diagnostic readings. Marcus studied the displays for exactly 47 seconds. "Your tertiary coupling is creating a feedback loop with the primary manifold. Route power through the secondary distribution hub and bypass junction 7 through 11. The engineering bay fell silent. Holvax's eyes widened as he processed the suggestion, ran the calculations, then hurriedly implemented the solution. The power grid stabilized immediately. "How did you..." Holvax began. "Lucky guess," Marcus replied with a slight smile that didn't reach his eyes. Word spread quickly through the ship. Captain Zixathara found herself paying closer attention to their rescued passenger. During mealtimes, she noticed Marcus automatically cataloging crew rotations, memorizing deck layouts, and asking innocent questions about defensive capabilities and supply chains. The revelation came during their 4th week together. The Mercy encountered a Krolix raiding party, 3 ships demanding tribute in exchange for safe passage. The Velthari had always paid such demands, their philosophy centered on avoiding conflict at all costs. "We'll transfer the requested medical supplies," Zixathara announced to her bridge crew as the Krolix vessels powered weapons. "It's unfortunate, but..." "Captain," Marcus interrupted from where he'd been observing quietly. His voice carried a new tone, one that made every crew member's attention snap to him instantly. "Request permission to review your tactical options." "Tactical?" Zixathara's gill slits fluttered. "But Marcus, we're a Mercy vessel. We don't engage in..." "You have defensive shields, point defense systems, and your cargo bay contains enough industrial explosives to level a small station," Marcus said calmly, his eyes never leaving the tactical display. "More importantly, the Krolix have positioned themselves in a cross pattern that leaves their engine exhausts exposed if you adjust course 17 degrees starboard and increase speed by 30%. The bridge crew stared at him. Their gentle, injured human passenger was speaking like he'd graduated from the Galactic Naval Academy. "But the risk," Zixthara began, "is minimal if executed properly." Marcus stepped forward, and somehow the space around him seemed to change. His posture shifted from that of a grateful refugee to something else entirely, something that made seasoned space travelers instinctively defer to his presence. Helm, implement course change on my mark. Engineering, reroute power from non-essential, systems to shields, communications, prepare a broadcast on all frequencies. Sir? The helmsman responded automatically before realizing what he'd done. Marcus smiled. A predator's expression that reminded everyone aboard why humans had earned whispered warnings in cantinas across 3 sectors. Tell them they have 30 seconds to withdraw, or they'll discover why the Krolix Empire suddenly stopped expanding in the direction of human space. The maneuver was executed flawlessly. The Krolix found themselves caught between the Mercy's surprising speed and a debris field that Marcus had somehow predicted would amplify their sensor shadows. When one raider moved to fire, Marcus calmly directed a precisely calculated impact from their point defense system that disabled the enemy's weapons without destroying the ship. The Krolix retreated. In the aftermath, Captain Zixthara found Marcus in the observation lounge, staring out at the stars with those unsettling human eyes. "You're not really just a lieutenant, are you?" she asked. Marcus turned, and his smile was gentle again, but she could never unsee what lurked beneath it. "I was a lieutenant, before I became a colonel, before they decided someone needed to coordinate special operations across this sector." He paused. "My transport was carrying me to a new assignment when we were attacked. And we rescued you." "You saved my life," Marcus said sincerely. "My turn to return the favor." Zixthara's gill slits fluttered as understanding dawned. "You're going to stay, aren't you? If you'll have me. The Velthari have good hearts, but you're operating in increasingly dangerous space. You need someone who understands how predators think." His expression grew thoughtful. "Besides, I've grown fond of this crew. Consider me your new tactical advisor." "Advisor?" Marcus chuckled, a sound that somehow conveyed both warmth and warning. "Don't worry, Captain. I'll be very respectful about it. Most of the time." As Zixthara watched him return to studying star charts with the focused intensity of a human planning their next move, she realized the Velthari had indeed rescued someone. They just hadn't rescued who they thought they had. And somehow, she suspected, they were all going to be much safer for it, even if they'd accidentally adopted a human who could apparently wage war as easily as others gave medical aid. Perhaps, especially because of that. After all, the galaxy was a dangerous place. Good thing they now had a human to help them navigate it.